Seven.
Look here.
Seven.
Look here. Look here.
Seven. Look here.
Seven over here.
Seven.
Over here, seven.
Smile.
Rich, famous, and apparently allergic to saving money. Welcome to the secret club of celebrities who went from diamond-studded collars to can I borrow $20? These are the people who made millions, bought things they didn't need, and managed to blow it all faster than you can say bankruptcy. From mansions they couldn't afford to jewelry that screamed poor life choices, these Hollywood stars prove that talent, fame, and a big fat paycheck are no match for bad decisions, bad investments, and an obsession with spending money like there's no tomorrow. So, grab your popcorn because it's financial facepalm time. I'm Seven McAllister for Seven Entertainment. Let's take a look at 7 celebrities who went broke despite being filthy rich. Number 1, Nicolas Cage. Once upon a time, Nick Cage was one of Hollywood's biggest stars, pulling in over $150 million in a decade. Then, like a method actor studying for the lead role in a movie called Financial Disaster, he blew it all faster than you can say, I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence and then take it to a pawn shop. Cage didn't just buy nice things, he bought psychotic things. We're talking 2 castles, a private island in the Bahamas, 4 luxury yachts, and a fleet of exotic cars that would make Bruce Wayne insecure. Dropped hundreds of thousands of dollars on dinosaur skulls, shrunken pygmy heads, and a haunted mansion in New Orleans because apparently bad vibes were part of his investment strategy. One point he owned 15 homes. He spent $150,000 on a pet octopus, presumably to teach him how to multitask his debt. He even outflexed the Grim Reaper by spending $200,000 on a pyramid-shaped tomb for himself. Yeah, a man who couldn't keep his house bought his afterlife real estate early. When the tax man finally came a knocking, Cage blamed bad financial advice. Sure, Nick, because your accountant totally suggested you buy another dinosaur fossil. Now, he's doing small budget indie films and meme interviews because when life gives you debt-filled lemons, you make any movie they will pay you to make. Number 2, MC Hammer. In the early 1990s, MC Hammer was printing money. You Can't Touch This turned him into a global superstar, raking in over $70 million. He had a Saturday morning cartoon, a deal with British Knights and Taco Bell. Hey, he made the Addams Family groove. Then, in true MC Hammer fashion, he couldn't touch fiscal responsibility. He didn't just spend big, he spent biblically. Bought a $30 million mansion with 17 bathrooms, a bowling alley, and 2 pools, because only poor people have 1 pool. Reportedly had over 200 employees, including a full-time stable manager for his 21 racehorses, and those horses even wore gold-plated chains because I don't even have a joke for that one. It's just dumb. He also dropped millions on a fleet of luxury cars, private jets, and a wardrobe so massive it looked like a Gucci store exploded. One report even claimed his monthly payroll was $500,000. By 96, the money ran out faster than his parachute pants went out of style. Hammer filed for bankruptcy, listing over $13 million in debt, and only a fraction of that was in assets. He later said he was trying to lift people up, but mostly he was just lifting them straight onto his payroll. These days, he's a tech investor and a motivational speaker, proving that you can go from can't touch this to please Venmo me and still find redemption. Number 3, Lindsay Lohan. In the early 2000s, Lindsay Lohan had it all: blockbuster movies, hit songs, and more magazine covers than a grocery store checkout line. But while she was starring in Mean Girls, her spending habits were straight out of Dumb and Dumber. At her peak, Lohan was reportedly worth $30 million. She treated that number like a challenge. She blew through it with a dizzying combo of shopping sprees, luxury rentals, and legal fees that could fund a small nation. She was known for buying designer clothes by the truckload, renting hotel suites for $8,000 a night, and once spending $100,000 on a single shopping trip. The only thing she saved was receipts for her court dates. The IRS showed up at her door in 2012 after she failed to pay $233,000 in taxes, forcing Charlie Sheen, yes, that Charlie Sheen, to loan her money. And when you're borrowing money, what a fuck up he is, that's a pretty big red flag. She later admitted to Oprah that she blew through her fortune, which might be the most honest thing she's ever said in an interview. These days, Lohan's bouncing back. She's married, she's sober, doing Netflix rom-coms instead of courtroom dramas. But her financial freefall remains one of Hollywood's most iconic cautionary tales. Number 4, Mike Tyson. At his peak, Mike Tyson pulled in somewhere between $300 and $400 million from boxing and endorsements. Then he spent it like a man who thought financial planning meant buy every shiny thing I see. Didn't just spend big, he spent outrageously. He dropped $2.2 million on a gold bathtub that he gave to his then wife Robin Givens. He purchased 2 white Bengal tigers for around 70 grand each and paid $125,000 a year for their trainer. He splurged on jewelry, cars, mansions. His Connecticut mansion alone had 52 rooms, an indoor pool, basketball court, nightclub. Add in pager and cell phone bills of around $230,000 a year, limousines, entourages, dozens of fast cars, and a monthly lifestyle cost at around 400 grand. But the punches kept coming. Bad managers, legal troubles, divorce settlements, taxes. He filed for bankruptcy in 2003, owing at least $23 million, and assets that had once been worth hundreds of millions evaporated. Tyson later admitted, "I was totally out of my league. I don't know how to handle money." Yeah, maybe it's crazier for us to suspect that a guy that got punched in the head for a living would be some kind of financial wizard. Fortunately for Iron Mike, he's been able to rebuild a portion of his fortune by competing in totally not embarrassing, totally non-fixed fights. So, what's the takeaway? Well, Mike started as the hardest hitter in heavyweight boxing. He ended up getting knocked out by his own checkbook. And if you think your expenses are out of control, just remember, hey, at least you're not paying a tiger trainer by the year. Number 5, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp once had a net worth that made most of us cry into our ramen, talking about $900 million bucks. Then he spent it like he was starring in Pirates of the Caribbean, Bankruptcy Edition. Depp didn't just buy stuff, he bought nonsense. He owned 14 homes, including a 45-acre French chateau, and he had 5 LA penthouses because, one mansion's never enough where you can literally have all of them. He spent $18 million bucks on a 156-foot yacht that he barely used, $3.6 million on islands in the Bahamas because, he thought he was a friggin' Bond villain or something. And that's just the big stuff. Depp blew 30 grand a month on wine, and I'm sure he bought very expensive bottles, but I like to think it's way funnier if he bought like 3,000 bottles of the cheaper stuff, spent 200 grand a month on private jets, shot Hunter S. Thompson's ashes from a $3 million cannon. By 2016, his bills had exceeded $100 million. His financial managers tried to warn him. Did he listen? Nah. Depp thought the money would never run out, which is what happens when your brain is permanently in Jack Sparrow mode. Eventually, he sued his managers for mismanagement, but the damage was done. Depp is living proof that even if you can play a charming pirate on screen, in real life you can still be a cash-blowing, debt-drowning disaster. Now, before we move on, we appreciate your support, so if you're enjoying this video, please do us a solid and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and just give a sweet little nudge to that notification bell. Number 6, 50 Cent. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, the rapper who once boasted how you could find him in the club with a bottle of bub, found himself filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2015. Now, despite his lavish lifestyle, including a 52-room mansion and a fleet of luxury cars, Jackson's financial troubles were mounting. Jury had ordered him to pay $5 million in damages for leaking a sex tape, and a failed headphone venture left him with a $17.2 million judgment against him. However, Jackson didn't let that bankruptcy define him. Instead of retreating, he used the opportunity to restructure his finances, and by 2017, he had paid off his $22 million debt ahead of schedule, thanks to a $13.65 million legal settlement and $8.7 million from his own pocket. Today, Jackson is a testament to financial resilience. He has diversified his income streams, including a lucrative deal with Stars for the Power series. He also invests in real estate and other products. His net worth is estimated at around $60 million in 2025. In the end, 50 Cent's story isn't just about a fall from grace. It's about a comeback fueled by savvy business moves and an unyielding drive to succeed, which is good because, when you're in a club, those bottles of bub are not cheap. They won't let you bring your own in, trust me, I've tried. Number 7, Dave Foley. Now, former Kids in the Hall Dave Foley is far from the biggest name on this list, but his financial issues did make it so he couldn't return to his home country, so he makes the list. In the mid-90s, news radio made Dave Foley sitcom royalty. He was charming, funny, and getting paid like a real NBC star, about $1 million a year. Then came his 1997 divorce, and with it the kind of financial gut punch that would make even Scrooge McDuck flinch, because the divorce settlement was finalized while Foley was making peak Hollywood money. The Canadian court locked in massive child support payments at around $10,700 a month. That number was based on his news radio salary. Problem: news radio got canceled. His paycheck didn't just shrink, it flatlined, but the support order didn't change. And Foley says that at one point those payments equaled 400% of what he was actually earning. That math doesn't math unless you're printing your own currency. When he fell behind, the unpaid balance ballooned into hundreds of thousands of dollars in arrears. Because the order came from Canada, where he's originally from, the government could legally stop him at the border for non-payment. So for years, Dave Foley literally couldn't go home without risking arrest. Imagine being so broke that you're banned from Canada, a country that apologizes when you bump into them. Eventually, he worked out a deal and was able to return, but the damage was done. Foley himself called it a life sentence. The moral of the story here is don't get divorced during your primetime years, or you'll be doing any gig you can just to pay for your own financial punchline. Well, there's our list. Did I leave out any other rich celebrities who went broke? If so, please leave them in the comments section below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, once again, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tippity-tap that notification bell. Until next time, I'm Seven McAllister for 7 Entertainment saying bye-bye.